Okay, so it says I'm live. Am I live? Looks like I'm live. It says in stream. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've got a bunch of work to do, and Derrick needs his foundation plan uh, this afternoon. And see, since I say a lot, I normally edit these videos to go through and take that out, but you're just gonna have to put up with the uhs and the ifs and ands and buts, my butt, and because I gotta get this knocked out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work and I'll check the comments every now and then. There we go. And I should just be quiet and work, shouldn't I? Then when somebody asks a question, I am gonna check the comments. But what I was doing is I had put these brackets in here, these ugly brackets, just as a placeholder. And I went and found the bracket I want to use, which is a Simpson Strong Tie. Let's go there, and I'll show you this bracket right here. Now, you don't have to use this exact one, but I'm going to give you the specs on it. And you can go to Simpson Strong Tie. Look at this. Can you see that link right there? And here's the chart right here. It's the ABR 9020, and it's 3 7/16 by 2 9/16. Everything's so tiny you can't read it. So it's 2 9/16 wide this way. They're calling that the length, and 3 9/16 this way. All it is a heavy-duty bracket with one hole on each leg. Okay, basically that's what you're looking for. And the reason for that is because we just want to be able to put a 3-inch lag bolt through the top part into the band, which I'll show you in a second, and a 4 or 5-inch expansion anchor into the concrete. And so you'll see what I'm going to do. I made this a component, so thankfully, so I should just be able to take all this stuff and cut and then paste it inside here. Oh, for a second I was like, where did it go? And then delete. I'm just going to put it right. Where's the center? For now I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to, yeah, that works. Then I'm going to delete this one. And all my other ones should have, see, I was really tacky. I didn't even make that a group. So now I got to go in here and delete all that geometry. So now I should have, yeah, see, since I made that a component, all of them changed, which is cool. This is what you want to do. Think smart, people. Be smart. Now, when I turn on my framing, you'll see how much sense that makes. And this is just a small backyard studio, so you don't have to get like Eiffel Tower on it. Let's turn on our floor framing. You see, you just want a good anchor, a good strong, that's 14 gauge. I think they have 11 gauge anchors if you want to use them. But see, yeah, that 3-inch. Because of this little bump out here and the thickness of the bracket, the 3-inch anchor bolt, the lag bolt is not going to go through because we doubled this 2x8. So now, let's look and see. Well, the other thing is, yeah, that's going to work out fine. The other thing is I'm going to add a sonotube. So what I thought I would do there is just give myself something to work with. I'm going to draw myself an outline of the floor of the building. This beautiful building that we're working with. And then I'm going to turn off the floor framing. That's the outline of our building. What that's going to do is, since I have all these radiuses I can just come in here and go 6 feet because I know my building is 18 feet, 6 feet. Let's see if we have anybody talking out there, talking to us. Love your, oh, thank you, 2x2 FPV, Brian Culver. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm sure you do good work too. And so I was concerned about these 2x8s. You know, it's kind of funny because you have to split the difference between, and this is where value engineering comes in. You kind of have to split the difference between, you know, like I could have specified 2x10s at 16 inches on center, and a double 2x10 might have spanned that 9 feet, but I don't know. I just don't. I'll talk to Derrick about this, and he's fine with adding the extra, the 2 extra. And see, it's only 2. It's not like you're building, you know, Fort Knox and you got 1,000 extra. See, there we go. That was easy. And that way, now we got to look at our joists. Let's turn our floor framing back on. Let me get rid of that. I don't think I'm going to need this outline anymore. Let's turn on our framing and see if we got lucky. Oh, we got lucky. Now what I can do is you can adjust this. Well, that was the eraser, not the orbit. So that's what happens when you do live stuff. Now, what we can do is we can adjust this layout very easily. And this is what you have to do. Is that a group? Yeah, I made that a group, thankfully. When you're putting these joists in here, you got to remember this, okay? Well, you're going to remember it because the sonotubes are already going to be there. But so what I would do is I would probably just move this back. Let's see what we can do. Is that, let's say 3 inches. That's fine. I mean, you just want to get them out of the way. You just want to think about the layout of your joists so they're not in the way of securing the, and why am I getting lag? That's weird. I got a high-powered computer. Shouldn't be getting lag. Must be YouTube censoring me. Just kidding. But you just want to get them moved out of the way enough, and you're not concerned about these sitting on the concrete. As a matter of fact, I need to show the joist hangers. Okay, each one of these, I just realized I don't have joist hangers showing, but you will. You'll have, if I have time here, I'll put them on there. But let's come up with a logical number here. Let's, when I say logical, I just mean easy to remember. That's, oh look, that's 12 inches, 12 and a quarter. Let's move them back a quarter. Oh, that may sound anal, but we're going to keep it easy. 1/4. Now all you got to remember is we're going to look at this from the front. Well, not from underneath, but we're looking at the front because this was our original model over here. And from the left side, you just got to start your joists from the left 12 inches set ahead. Just put your little crow's foot right here. Take your pencil, put your little crow's foot there. This pencil doesn't like drawing like normal. Put your X over here, and then go ahead and then set ahead 16 inches on center. Okay, and so now I'm going to fix this bridging, this blocking right quick. Is this is that a component? No, good. I'm going to be careful because I'll be changing all of them. That actually works out better. That's that floor joist layout. And I always do this. It's kind of funny. My framers get mad at me sometimes because they know they have to check with me before they start. They can't just pull off 16 inches because we got toilets and everything else, plumbing to worry about. And I'll give them, if we've got floor trusses or joist, it doesn't matter. I'll give them that starting dimension for their layout. All right, so then that's easy, and that's going to be a strong floor. And let me see if we've got any comments before I go to the next. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Hey, are you the one that was talking about building a container home down there in Puerto Rico? It's cool down there. Actually, Puerto Rico is cool. I mean, all those, all the islands down there are cool. I'll sometimes, if I want to feel like I'm traveling, I'll just go to Google Earth, and they've got those little bubbles, those little photograph bubbles, and I'll click on them. And just one time, I was trying to figure out what the common building type was in was it Guadalupe? And that area of the world, because I was helping somebody with a project down there, and I saw that they use mostly concrete. These columns, they'll pour footings and then they'll have concrete columns about every 10 feet or so, and then they'll come back and infill that with the block. But I found that out by looking on Google Earth at the those bubbles. Not Google Earth. Is it Google Earth or Google? Maybe it is Google Earth. I know you got me sidetracked now. See, I should have done that. You got me sidetracked. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Yeah, Jose got me sidetracked. They don't like Google doesn't like you doing this kind of stuff because they don't want to give you the bandwidth to do it. This is the new Google Earth. Oh, that's what's wrong. Oh, good Lord. I don't want to search. I know where it is. Just let me zoom, you goober. I know where to go. Just let. Oh my God! Are you serious? Stop. Okay, there's an X up there. All right, so I know where Guadalupe is. I just need the freedom to go there. Anyway, if you zoom in on Google Earth, they've got these little bubbles you can click on. Like this. And there'll be a photograph there. Well, that's not exactly it, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But that's your fault. That's your fault, Jose. Not your fault. Your fault. It's your fault. So anyway, I've got the saw tubes worked out, and they need to go in the ground about 18 to 24 inches. Depending on your soil type, okay? If you've got really hard dirt like we have here in Tennessee, it's all clay and chert, you get by with going 16, 18 inches. If you've got sandy soil like that they do in Florida and other places like that, you might have to go 3 or 4 feet deep. Because what happens is these sonotubes work off two different principles. If you have good soil, they're working off sort of a column principle where the bottom is bearing, okay? But if you have real sandy soil, they're working off the principle of friction, okay? So the reason you'll see piles so deep in sand is because they're relying on the friction around the sides of the column sonotube to hold them up, not what they're sitting on, okay? But if you've got really good soil that can bear that has good soil, bearing capacity, you don't have to make them so deep. So I think Derrick and I have decided for his little project that 18 to 24 inches is good enough because he's in an area like us. Frost line is very shallow. It's only like 4 or 5 inches here. In Tennessee, we can, in southeast Tennessee, our footings only have to be like 12 inches deep. we'll dig them 16, 18 inches deep anyway, because usually we have to get down below the top. We have to take off the topsoil and then go down. But anyway, and then we pour them 8 to 10 inches deep. That keeps them, still 4 to 6 inches above below the grade. But what I'm going to do now is, and I probably should have left that. I should have left my outline, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into layout, which is in the pro version of SketchUp, and start a sheet. Let's see, let's start, where's my layout? Here it is. Make sure we're still broadcasting here. The reason I'm doing this live is because I have a limited amount of time, and Derrick needs this for tomorrow, and so I don't have time to edit a video. And I know I'm being lazy, but let's see. What I need is like an 8.5. This will fit. So I'm just going to look through my jobs here and find an 8.5 by 11 layout. Here we go. And I'm just going to copy it and forget about all this stuff. I'm going to delete all this stuff. This is another job I was doing, and so Leggett Road. Yeah, that was the foundation. I was getting a price from my foundation guy, so this will work good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it as. Is this the barn? I want to go to Derrick's studio. 8.5 by 11. Yeah, we'll just leave that. I just don't want to alter that other one. And then we're going to import or insert. Let me make sure I've got my drawing saved. And this is how SketchUp works. The pro version, let's see, save. You don't really do any dimensioning or labeling in, we call this model space. In AutoCAD, we would have called this model space, and this is paper space. So layout has a lot better features as far as dimensioning and scaling. And you see I need to set up a view. So what I need to do is go in here and set up this top view, get this kind of lined up, and I need to get this set on parallel projection. Parallel projection makes it, just look flat like that. So there's no perspective view. And then I go to my scenes, and I'll set up whatever the drawing name is. So this is going to be pier or foundation plan. Okay. And then I'll turn off the floor framing because I'm not ready for the framing plan yet. We'll turn off the floor framing, and I'm going to leave this outline for now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put some reference lines on here, and then I'll save this, and then I'll go back to my layout, and then what I can do now is I can update the model reference, and you see. And I can say scene, foundation plan. And when I start to do paper drawings, I have to change the style. I like to work in this atmosphere where I've got this color, this pretty sky. Oh look, I'm not in perspective. I need to be in perspective, yeah. I like to work, it's easier on the eyes when I work like this, but when I start to do construction drawings, I have to change to just a flat black and white. I use this hidden line Let's try the construction. I gotta use the, yeah. And so you can see that's bland looking, but it works because you don't want to have to print all that background color on your, and we're going to update this view. See, I can save that per view update. So then I can go back. Yeah, you don't want, you see, you wouldn't want to print that all that color. You could, but you know, you would run out of ink really quick if you were printing all that. So I'm going to update this again. Hopefully I saved model. Save. Update the viewport. Update the view. Save the model. Go back into layout. Sometimes it's a little glitchy. You gotta. There it goes. Now I can scale it. Let's see if we have any questions. Hey Justin, how's it going? I got a new phone today. I'll email you the number once. Oh, cool. That's cool. I tried to actually schedule a class with James and what is her name? Marilyn was kind of grumpy with me, and she wouldn't tell me a date when James was going to be there because I wanted to go take a class. And Richard knows James Yeager. I guess some of you may know him. I was going to go take a class with him, and she wouldn't tell me. She said that if they want people to know, they'll put it on the schedule. Anyway, getting sidetracked again. I'm trying to scale this to 1/4 inch equals a foot. That's our standard scale for construction drawings. And then I gotta go up here and make sure I'm not, I don't want that. When I size this window, I don't want to rescale it. So I got that set. Get this nice and tucked in here. And then I can go to my scrapbook, bring myself a little title block over, just to be cute. And that's kind of big. This size is good for large sheets. We're going to call this foundation plan. Did I spell it correctly? And the scale is going to be 1/4 inch equals 1 foot 0 inches. That's our scale. That's kind of big. I can't leave it that big. I'm going to make it, let's see. How did it do that? I'm going to make it 0.8, comma 0.8. There we go. Now I've got to make this smaller. Excuse me. Make it 12. Yeah, 12 is fine. And this should be 10. Make it 9. And this is where I lose time because I'm anal about some of this stuff. And most people would just say, it's fine, leave it alone. But when I was working in architecture, we had this lady who was, she was really anal about CAD standards, and now she's ingrained it in my head so badly that, why does that look thick? Why does that look thick? Well, it's just, I don't see, I get started on this stuff. Anyway, I'll fix that later. This is too big. Can't stop, can I? Textile. Let's make that needs to be. The reason I know it's too big is because that little down arrow was telling me. So this is going to be this is going to be 1. I got this backwards. A1. Let's see. A1. Okay. So that is that. And now I've learned one trick I've learned too to get this to print darker, because for some reason it prints really light unless you go up here and change this into from a raster to hybrid. And you should see it darken up a little bit. It won't be as light. So now I got to get this tucked in down here, because see, I might want to put something else. Normally you would try to put, make your, good use of your sheet. So I'm just going to tuck it in right down here, give myself a little room for dimensions. Move this over a little bit. Now, since I've got that where I want it, I can start to dimension this. So what we're going to do first is dimension our, and I'm going to do away with those. Why is that not snapping? I feel like I'm having to guess. Yeah, it's not snapping. It's supposed to, I should be able to snap that. There, that's good enough, I guess. It's working. Making it work. So what I would do then is, since I've got to raise that up a little bit, I'll just select all this. It's got a little crowded. Move it up a little bit. And I just realized that my joists are turned on. That's funny. Because I wasn't going to have the joist turned on in my foundation plan. I meant to turn the joist off. That would be the framing plan. This is the foundation plan. Update. Let's see if we got any comments. I need to do some classes with James one day. Yeah, I've actually been trying to lose weight because I know I'm going to embarrass myself when I get there. It's to justify for the lower A1. Yeah, I know. You see, you're like me. You want to fix all that stuff, but what it is, how I normally name my sheets like this, 0.1, and of course now, see what you did, Justin. Yes, now I go in here and I'll make this a little bit smaller, because I like to. But on larger drawing sets, you need some division of numbers. So, like, I usually will go A 1.1, 1.2, and then if I go to elevations, I'll change it to 2.1, 2.2, and so on. And that is the smallest I can get. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so it wasn't, I didn't downsize it earlier. I'm going to raise that up just a little bit. There you go. How about that? Is that better? That's a little better. I can fix it. I'll go back. What I normally do is I'll get all my drawings in here, and I'll get my, let's update this because it's still showing I just want this to be my foundation plan. But what I normally do is get this, dang it, I didn't save it, did I? I get all my drawings stuff in there and the text and dimensions, and I go back and check everything. Update. And it's being, there it goes. And now I'm going to, I don't know if, what I should do is, I could leave, what I could do is just kind of leave this as an outline. I could have a layer called foundation outline, and it kind of frames that. Well, I'm on caps lock on our thing. I'm going to make that dashed. I need to get rid of that face too. I'm gonna make this a group, and then I'm gonna put it in. Where's my entity info, man? I knew something was missing. Tray. Manage trays. Tray 1. Entity info. Sometimes you just accidentally delete stuff. I like it up here. Now I can change that to foundation outline. See, that'll be a dash line, and then I can delete these. I think it'll look better. And then I'll update that. And then do I save it? It's to justify, yep. I fixed her. Now let's update this. Update model reference. Oh, there we go. That's good. Now I would just find a little place to put some text, to say, let's see, what was that model number? It was ABR 9020. So I would say angle bracket. I would say, well, Simpson, caps, bracket, ABR 9020. I don't like that text either. So what I'll do is I like this Futura for architectural drawings. I like Futura. It's just real simple and clean. And typical, so you'd say typical. So wherever you see that, put the right bracket. My new laptop is I can't see the I can't really see the symbols of and then here you might put 12-inch port whatever sonotube concrete pier, oops, just something to, and you'd say typical. So whenever you see that, it's what it is. And if I was smart, I would be changing this. So just that, you just what you want to do is you want to dimension everything, obviously. And I want to pull this over a little bit. I don't like how close it is. Give a little more room there. And you just want to describe things at least once. You don't want to say each, you don't want to label each sonotube. You just want to say that's what that is, that's what that is. And then that's good enough for what he needs it for, And then if I had enough room, if I had, maybe I've got enough room, I could go ahead and show the framing plan. I probably should have used a bigger sheet. And I can do that. I can set this up. The other thing that's messing with me is this. Let me move this out of the way for a second. I don't like how they've got this thick line here, especially on the little tiny drawings, shape style. Yeah, see, there's no reason for that. That's just bulky looking. There's enough bulk in this world. Yeah, just keep it simple. And I'm going to move that over a little bit to where it lines up with that. So what I'd really like to do is I don't have enough room. What I should have done was to ask him, okay, stop freaking out. What I should have done was ask Derrick if he could print 11 by 17, because what I would have done was gone in here and change this paper to tabloid. I wonder if he can do it. I wonder if he can do that. Well, let's see if he made it to the live stream. Let's see. Have you ever tried using an architecture font? There is a free one from the font called Flux Architect. If it's like a handwritten, I don't like those handwritten ones. We used to use this Futura because it was real simple and clean, and you really don't want to use any kind of handwriting looking thing. It's really just not very clear. You don't want to give any reason for people to say, I didn't see that, I didn't understand that, couldn't read it, or this is the most simple font, very clean, very it's very consistent, so I like it. But I've been doing this a long time, the architecture, drafting and architecture and building stuff for 40 years. So I've tried just about every font you can think of, and I've pretty much settled on simple stuff. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this up for 11 by 17 really quick, and this is really not kosher, but I'm going to do it like this, and that's good enough. And because I don't even have this, I got to change this title block. This was for the barn project that, I don't know if you've seen that video. But see, now I've got plenty of room to work with, and I can copy this and this. Why is it being all laggy? It must be because I'm live streaming, and I need to pull this up here a little bit more like that. And so now what I can do is change this to the floor framing scene, which I haven't done yet. Let's see. So what I need to do now is, what is this? Oh, I see. That's the ground. What I need to do now is get this kind of fixed for floor framing, and we'll be close to being done. So we'll set that, and now I'm going to set myself up a scene for, let's see, caps lock, floor framing plan. Oh, I usually don't use all caps on this to save space. So that's the other thing. Some of the fonts will take up more space in all caps, and then some are not. Some won't. Some are. I don't know what that's called. I forgot what that's called. But when it's consistent on the amount of space it takes up, what is that, Jason? You might know. That is what it is. What did I say that you said it is too? It is. Let's see. Now, did I save my drawing? Gonna update this. Did I update that? I updated that. I'm gonna save this. And I can go back and I can change this to scenes, update model reference. It's funny how you wouldn't think that live streaming would slow down your process, but it does a little bit for some reason. For framing. There we go. And I'm not sure why it moved a little bit, but it did. So then on this, we can either leave those, we can leave in this case, I think I'm just going to leave them to show I know why because I want to show where the brackets are. I want to show the relationship between the brackets and the floor layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a note in here that we have this 12-inch offset, and then on our first we're going to use that, and then I'll dimension this. Get back out here where I can see. Probably move this up a little bit because I'm going to add a note to it. One foot. Caps lock. Layout offset. What did I do? Do that. There we go. And then we'll it's a little repetitive to dimension it again, but I would just go ahead and dimension it again just for the front of it. And then we put some notes in here. We typically we'll start over here and say double, I don't know how to spell, 2 8. We'll call them header joists. It's really like a beam that we're building. And I keep forgetting to change that so it'll stick. And that's kind of, I think what I'm going to do is, I need some more room. Now, if you go here and change this, it'll stick. If you change it before you do anything else, then I would go in here and do, let's see, where is that? 2 by 8 joists. And then 16 inches on center. And so you just want to label everything. And here you might say, just come down 2 by 8. Blocking or bridging, that's what we call it. Bridging. So that's good. I mean, that gets everything, it gets it dimensioned, 10 by 18, and you've labeled everything. Header joists, and you've told them what it is, 2 by 8s, 2 by 8s, 16 inches on center, and bridging. So it's real simple, and this will be a good start. He can take this, print this out. It's nice to have the model, I actually take my computer with me a lot of the time, and I usually set up a view called work. Where's a scene? I keep saying view. I call them viewports in the workstation, or another CAD program I used to use a long time ago. I call this work, And then that's just a viewport. And what I do is I change it back to this style, so it's easy to work with. And then I turn all my layers on, or the ones I think I'm going to be working with the most in this case. Let's just turn them all back on, except for the sheeting. I don't want that on right now. And then floor decking. What happened to my floor decking? And something happened to the floor decking. We're having a problem with our roll-up doors. He wants roll-up doors, but I did not delete my floor decking. If I did, I accidentally put it in wall sheeting. I was going to be mad. I was getting ready to save this as another drawing because I knew I could still. See, everything's going wacko here. What happened to my tray? Somehow I keep deleting my entity info and can't assign layers when I do that. I know what I'm doing, hitting that little X right there. That should be under floor decking. So we got some issues we really need to work out, and that's what I was actually working on when he called me and said, I want to put my sonotubes in this weekend. And I said, okay, okie dokie. So we had to put off the doors. What's this expanded thing? And then let's get rid of yeah, so the other thing I gotta do is I gotta move this or change. I gotta delete this window, put it over here. But I'm gonna leave it like that. So what I was trying to do is show you, I update that little view right there, see, and it's in this style. But now if I need to go back to my drawing views, set it for my sheets, I can control the style, the working style, by the scene. That's one thing cool about SketchUp. So if I just want to work on this and I don't want all that bright white shining in my face, because this background is easier on your eyes. Let's see if there's any questions. Monospaced. Oh, is that what it's called? Oh, you're a graphic designer. That's what I like about that Futura. It is a handwritten. Now, I'll be honest with you, I like the handwritten fonts, but I don't like them if I'm doing drawings for somebody else. I don't mind them on my drawings, but I've had people, and even subcontractors and people, say they have a hard time with some of those handwritten fonts, that they're not that easy to read. And so just to do away with all that ambiguity, I went to the most simple, consistent, clear. That's a double 2x8 header joist. Don't be putting 2x6s. You know what I mean? Because some of those fonts are funky looking. I think I actually have some in here somewhere, but the resolution is so tiny on some of these names I can't see. But yeah, I've got one in there somewhere. I've got like a million fonts. I play around with them a lot. And so anyway, that is let's see, let me go in here and do this window right quick. I'll show you how I do this. Let's see, he's got wall tools. I like this Medic wall. That he has a really good set of extensions, And so I like drawing things by hand, myself. But when I'm in a kind of in a hurry and I've got production I have to put out or do, then I use these because it just helps me get stuff done. So I'm going to put in a window here, rectangular. I was going to make it 48 width and 24 inches tall. Two 2x10s headers, and you'll see once I get, I think I had these at 90 inches. Oh no, they're 96. Yeah. Let's see, is that going to work? Built up. Let's just update that and put this in here. I'm going to put it right in the center. Just like that. There we go. You see how I can get stuff done. I love drawings. I actually love creating components and drawing everything by hand. But if I just need to get something done, that's it. Now, that'll work. I was afraid 96 was going to push my header up into this sloped wall, but it's not. It's fine. And we're using just regular 2x10s for those headers. There's not any load on this. These end wallers basically non-load bearing, but on the front we're using LVLs, 2 11 7/8 LVLs for that long 15-foot span. And then we talked about doing away with this door right here. We're going to do away with this door and come up with a plan. He wants to be able to roll up that door and just be able to basically do this, chill out there with his, doing yoga and stuff, exercising, whatever. And so we in our first session, we basically blocked it out with just basic SketchUp tools, and then I go in and detail it like this, the framing. And part of that detailing is actually getting a manufacturer for the door, and then I download their doors. Most companies, it's kind of cool. Most companies nowadays know that you have to be, you have to do this. You have to provide CAD drawings for your products. And this is Simpson Strong Tie. You can go to their website and they will have, here's the 3D drawings for their brackets. Because they know if they provide that drawing for you, you're going to specify their products. It's pretty smart. Excuse me. So that's why I use that a bracket. And I'm in underground now. All right, so let's see. That's random wall over here. But yeah, as I'm working now, I can just, so I think I'll save this just to make sure I'm good. I can go back to those views. Let's see if I got questions. Oops, that's the wrong window. City, yeah, I know. I've seen those city blueprint and country blueprint, and they're pretty cool. I like them. But again, if I'm doing, I guess I could have said font. There it is. Yeah, I've seen that, and I like it. It's just that the numbers. Does it show? Sometimes the numbers, yeah. Sometimes this one's okay, but they're just, some of them are just too artsy fartsy, and they're not really clear. Like sometimes the 9s and the 6s and the numbers are just they get bunched up and they're just not really clear. And I don't know, when you're doing work where contracts are involved, you just can't leave any reason for someone to misread something. It's just weird. I've learned this the hard way. So, but anyway, what I would do here is let's see, we would normally number our sheets this way. So this would be 2. A1.1, and this is 1A1.1. And then, oh, this is, gotta change this. For framing plan, got that. And I'll go in here and change this stuff, and because I'm not going to do it, let's see, let's just call this, oh, I don't know, plans, because it's the it's the foundation plan and floor framing plan. So we're just going to call this plan drawings. I don't know, just something. And then this is, I've got to check to see what I have done there. Well, that's our little logo here, and that's that. And here's where you would put your date, your original date. I'm not really quite ready to release a set of drawings. When I would release the first complete set, I would put a date here, and then if you have changes, you would on this particular sheet, you would list them here, and you would cloud them. Like if I change something, that I wonder, it's one thing I've never seen. Does SketchUp have clouds? What you do is you draw a cloud circle around it, and then you reference that cloud in the comments, and you'd have comments and things. But thankfully these are real simple drawings, not too complicated. And one thing I might do is, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, just going to do. I'm going to try to get this to him to see if he needs more information. And I just wanted to be able to do it so he could come and watch if he wanted to. And we'll go from there. This other project that I'm working on, this barn one is pretty cool. I'll show you that right quick. I'm going to work on it next. And so you can see here I'm already setting up where's my work, here we go. This is a big old barn I designed. It's 40 feet by 60 feet. That's that Leggett Road. That's actually the sheet that I was working on. And it's kind of cool because the guy wants the true post and beam. So if we turn off our siding and our roofing and our purlins, and so I've got these intermediate rafters. I thought this was pretty cool. I've never built one like this before. I've got these intermediate rafters sitting on the vents, because then I can just use regular purlins on the roof. See, and I think that's going to be a cool way to build it. I hope he lets us build it. We're doing the drawings. Obviously, he's hired us to do the drawings, but I'm not sure, if we'll get to build it. Depends on the price and everything. And those joists are not going to be installed on the, where's that? Right there. But the vents are pretty cool. I'm trying to turn off a lot of these layers, just to show, turn off the doors, just to show the vents. And this is really what's driving the cost on this project. These vents are expensive. These timbers, this $30,000 just for this for the timber on here. And because these are like 8x12s, and the posts are 8x8s. All the rafters are 8x8s, so it gets kind of expensive. Anyway, Derrick's gonna be mad I'm showing other projects on his time, so I'm just kidding. Let me check the comments, and we will see. Could you draw your own Uh, that's, you know what? It's funny about the revision clouds because I have never actually checked to see if they have a line. So, you know what I would have to do is probably go in here and can I draw? No, I can't. It's weird. SketchUp, I'll have to, I'm actually going to have to research that because they've got these lines you can draw, but it would be a pain if you had a lot of, you know, you see, that's weird. In AutoCAD, we had a line type. I'm pretty sure we had a line type that was a cloud line that you could just like draw a circle and it would draw the little cloud, the loops, the little radiuses. But I don't think let's do a search right quick since y'all are here. Revision cloud in SketchUp. Once a revision has been implemented, you can place a revision cloud from the scrapbook. Well, where is it? 2D revision cloud, SketchUp, follow your cursor. Okay, well, now you tell me. Where is it? Where is it at? Only in the sentence in a preposition. Drawing references. So apparently it's here somewhere. People, colors, cars, arrows. Colors, people, signs. Let's see if it's in the contemporary. It's not in there. See, these are all. Well, I'll have to find it. But apparently, what it is, you would draw like say this is a revision cloud, and then you would scale it. Then you'd have to arrange, send it to the back or whatever. Well, that's not all the way, is it? Arrange, send to back. There we go. So then it would be, like that. But apparently, they have them. I don't know what it is about my new laptop. Everything is so tiny. The text, and I know you can fix that, but I don't like, you lose a lot of ground when you do that, when you change the resolution. I guess I'm just getting old. So apparently you can, I don't know where it is. Let's see if it's under shapes, shape style, dashes. Don't know. You probably can do it. We can probably do a revision cloud tool. Wait a minute. Is it a plug-in or something? What's revision? The clouders function is okay. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so it's a plug-in. Wouldn't you know it? But thankfully, the newer version of I used AutoCAD from the day it came out. Well, it was, what version was it? Was it 10? What was the first one you could get on the 3.5-inch floppies? And it was like 12 discs. So I was so excited. I had a compact luggable, and it was only like an 8088, and it had a 20 megabyte hard drive in it, and it had the little amber screen. And I was so happy to get my drafting teacher in high school gave me a copy of it. Was it high school? Pretty sure it was. I graduated in 1980. When did AutoCAD first come out? Anyway, he gave me a copy of it. And what was I looking for? Oh, you can go to the extension manager. And I bet if we type in, let's see, extension warehouse, here we go, in SketchUp. Now that's going to be, wait a minute, that's going to be revision cloud. We better just type in cloud. That's probably as close as we're going to get. Anyway, I don't want to cloud sync SketchUp. Yeah, there's too much. Anyway, somebody was mentioning in that form I was looking at a plugin, so I'll have to research it. Anyway, let me check comments one more time before I head out. I used to draw from 2002 to 2007. I still dabble. Yeah, you know, the thing I like about SketchUp over AutoCAD, I used AutoCAD for like 15 years. And I loved it, obviously. But I felt like CAD programs were getting away from just basic. Like the CAD programs were forcing people with all the BIM stuff. They really put people in the gear of management, not art, not architecture. And the thing I love about SketchUp is it kind of forces you to go back to step one. I have a form here. Well, what is the scale of that form? What is the function of that? And let's deal with that. Especially like Revit. I remember when Revit first came out, 15 years ago? I thought, oh, this is going to make the architecture industry really boring because we're going to know every little nut and screw and bolt, but we're going to lose our creativity, And I know the Revit, obviously AutoCAD would disagree with that. And I know you need the business of architecture. And I know the business of architecture has to exist, and I know you need people to manage drawings and construction projects. But you see, modern architecture is about construction management, project management. It's less about, you don't see too many Frank Lloyd Wrights anymore, or Gary, what was his name? Gary, the guy who, anyway, I'm not going to sit here and claim to know about all these architects. I'm just saying the art of architecture has gone, it's more of a business now. And, it's been that way for a long time. And there's a few architects that I know that I feel like are still, one is Stroud Watson, who I worked for a few years. We did Jack's Alley together here in Chattanooga. It was like the renaissance of Chattanooga changing from steel town to, what we are now as far as a tourist town. A lot cleaner. We actually have cleaner air now. Anyway, he was very creative, and he would come in on my monitor. I had a big old 20-inch monitor as a CAD, and he would come in with a Sharpie, and he'd start drawing on the monitor. Put a wall here, And it was pretty funny, pretty cool time. But anyway, I know y'all don't want to hear me ramble. Frank Gehry, yeah, thank you. I thought his name was Gary. Those kinds of people. I think he actually has isn't he doing one of those, where you can, what's it called, master class now? I think I was going to take that. It's called master class, and all these different creators are, photographers, filmmakers, architects, are, they have classes you can take from them. That's pretty cool. I think Frank's got one going. Anyway, does anybody else have any more questions or comments? I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna fix all this title block stuff. Then I'm gonna get this drawing sent to him so he can print it off and get his stuff going tomorrow. And if not, I really appreciate all the conversation. It's nice to be able to talk to people while you're working. And Derrick, if you have questions, after you watch this, give me a call or email me, and I will get it fixed and to you so you can start digging holes tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys.